All right, here's another 7 minutes of fame for you, right, from Typo3 developer days. Mikhail Shako will show us some stuff about tuning Typo3 to high performance.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I have a small presentation on tuning Typo3 with external tools, namely mod proxy. So that's the problem. Typo3 performance sucks for heavy traffic side. It's very fine for most of the sites, but if you really have heavy traffic, then 60 requests per second, per minute per second don't cut it. So tuning does help. You can throw more hardware at the problem and you can do some low-level tuning, but it does not really help if you have insanely huge performance in mind. The solution, part one, is the usual suspects. We have Apache. You can work on pre-fork and worker, and you can tune min and max client settings and all that. And you can, of course, tune MySQL if you use it with query caching and setting up connection limits and all that. PHP, E-accelerator, and setting the memory limit high enough for Typo3 is quite important. And you can tune Typo3 itself, use page caching, and Bernard Kraft, who's not here unfortunately now, has done some serious hacking on Typo3 itself, so that it's really a lot faster than it used to be, but it's a hack mainly now. So what you can still do is split Apache MySQL on different machines, put a load balancer in between and do that, but it's still relatively slow compared to static files, and that's what we're aiming for. So static files for high performance is one solution that has often been done, but I think it sucks with or without Typo3. Staging is clumsy and error prone when you do that manually. You publish every page for itself, or you do it with mirroring tools like wget and stuff like that. You need changes in the workflow and the server setup, and the dynamic staff goes where. So that's the problem. You have search, and you have maybe something that is used interactively in the site, and you have to do some very heavy lifting to combine static files for normal pages with the rest of the system. So transparent proxies to the rescue. We have this great feature, cache control headers in Typo3 for a long time now, and the great thing about using proxies is that it's transparent to both Typo3 backend and frontend. So Typo3 knows nothing at all about being behind a proxy, and you don't need to change anything in the code in Typo3, and you have a performance like in static files, ideally. It might be a little less, but it's really faster. And you get horizontal scalability as a free bonus, because you can throw more proxies in front of Typo3 installation, and you can easily split up work between different servers, and you get that for free. Okay, the most important question is, how does it work on one server? It does work. You only need 2 web servers. So it's in simple 5 steps. You move your old web server to a higher port. You install a slim Apache 2, npm worker, and mod proxy. npm worker is threaded, so it's the most lightweight implementation of Apache 2 that we have today, and it really doesn't have to do anything except serving proxied files. You proxy all requests to your old web server, which is on a higher port now, and you enable this caching for mod proxy. You enable cache control headers, set it to a level that you need in Typo3, and you are done. The issues that you have with that, pages must be cacheable. That's a problem. But even uncached pages are just as fast as they used to be, because then they are only redirected through the proxy, not cached between that, but the performance is still mainly the same. And even for frequently updated content, if you set the expiry time very low, you can get huge boosts, because maybe you have 1 dynamic request per minute, but all the rest of the time you get really static file-like performance. And you can scale easily, as I said before, by putting more mod proxies in front of your Typo3 server, or by putting more Typo3 servers behind your proxies. So if you say, okay, we have a few dynamic requests and we need a little more performance for dynamic stuff, you can still put more real application Typo3 servers with PHP running behind the proxies. So this is just a result of my notebook running with full X and all that, but it's just using Apache Bench with high concurrency on the local host. And before it was 56 requests per second, which isn't bad, and for most people it's fine. But afterwards, without any drawbacks, if you have a site that is cacheable easily, you have 1,200 requests in a second and less load, because the threaded NPM Apache works really better with less load. So real world performance is probably lower, but it's really, really an insane improvement, which doesn't cost you anything except a little bit of hacking and config files. That's it.